Okay, so you guys sent us in this text, God is always with you.
Right.
And it's really interesting because this whole idea of needing courage and support when things get tough,
Yeah.
it feels super universal. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Like you think about just the stuff that everyone
Right.
goes through,
Yeah.
whether it's a big test at school or, tryouts are coming up for a team or you're trying to make new friends or even, things are tough at home.
Totally.
Those moments of like feeling scared, nervous or down, I mean, that's just part of life.
Absolutely. And you know what's so cool about this text is like, it gets right to the heart of what can help you through that. And that's the idea that you're
Yeah.
never alone. Like, that's so powerful and simple, but it's like, whoa,
Right.
And this comes straight from Joshua 1.9. And it's something that's resonated with people for like centuries.
For sure.
And so what we really want to do in this deep dive is unpack what that promise actually means, like for you listening right now,
Yeah,
and how it can become a real source of strength.
exactly. Because, we were just talking about those times when you feel scared or things are difficult.
Yeah.
This text like specifically touches on some super relatable stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, big exams, putting yourself out there for a tryout,
Oh, yeah.
making new friends, like it can feel so vulnerable.
Totally.
Or, even just dealing with some tricky family stuff.
Oh, man. Family stuff is the worst.
It can be really, really hard. Yeah,
It can be huge.
totally.
And you know what I love about this message, though, is it's like, yeah, all that stuff is hard, but it's also like you're not alone in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not the whole picture.
Absolutely.
It says right there, God is always with you at school, at home, on the
Yeah.
playground.
Yeah.
Even when you're lying in bed at night, it's like this constant presence wherever you are.
That's so powerful. And, it's interesting to think about, too, is like the intent behind that presence.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about someone being there. It's
Wow.
about them being there to like give you strength and help you feel brave.
Yeah.
The text specifically mentions that God is there to give you strength.
Exactly. And the coolest thing is, it's not like you have to earn it or anything,
Right.
it's not conditional. It's just there. It's freely available.
Exactly. You don't have to be perfect.
Exactly.
You don't have to have it all figured out.
That is such a key takeaway. Like, it's just there for you.
It is.
And to illustrate this, the text talks about the story of Joshua. So
Yeah.
for those who might not know, can you like give us the quick rundown on that story?
Sure. So basically, Joshua was facing this huge challenge.
Okay.
He had to take on the leadership of a whole people
Wow.
and guide them into this new territory after they had lost their previous leader.
That's a lot of pressure.
I know, right? So, like, obviously he was probably freaking out a little bit,
Totally.
full of fear and doubt.
Understandably.
And the reassurance that he got was literally, be strong and courageous.
Wow.
Do not be frightened or dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go.
Chills.
Right.
Yes.
So good.
And so the point is like that same promise that was given to Joshua way back when
Yeah,
is given to you right now in whatever you're dealing with,
absolutely.
whether it's big or small. That promise is there.
It is.
I love that. And then the text goes on and poses some really direct questions.
Oh, yeah. It's like they knew we were going to talk about it.
Totally.
These think about it prompts are so good.
Yeah.
Because they're all about like making it personal,
Yeah. Right.
It asks you, have you ever felt scared or nervous about something?
Yeah.
And did you know that God is always with you, even when you can't see him?
It's so simple, but it's so important to think about.
It really is. It's like taking a minute to check in with yourself
Right.
and see how this idea like actually fits into your own life.
Exactly. And then it gets even more practical and it asks,
Yeah.
what's something you can do to remind yourself that God is with you?
Oh, I love that.
Like, okay, we talked about it now. What are you going to do about it?
Right. Like, how are you going to make this real in your life?
Exactly. And then there's a short prayer, which I think is so powerful.
Me too.
It's basically just saying, thank you for being there with me and help me be brave, help me trust, help me find strength and peace.
Such a beautiful prayer.
It really is just like straight to the point.
Yeah.
And then the activities are so cool too.
Oh, yeah. I love those.
It's like, draw a picture of a time you were brave and write down 3 things that make you feel brave.
I love that.
It's like active.
Yep.
It's not just like sit there and think about it. It's like do something.
Totally. It's about like moving from just hearing the words to actually like feeling it.
Yes, exactly. And then that final reminder brings it all home. It says, no matter what happens,
Yeah.
God is always with you.
Yeah.
He's cheering you on and giving you strength. You are never alone.
And the little heart emoji at the end gets me every time.
It's so sweet.
I know.
But seriously, it's so powerful and comforting,
It really is.
Like just knowing that you're not alone in whatever you're going through. It's
Eh,
huge.
It is so, the core of what we talked about today is this message of support and constant presence,
Yeah.
no matter what challenges you're
No
facing.
matter what.
Which I think leads to a really cool question for you to think about as we wrap up.
Okay, hit me.
Can you remember specific times in your own life when you felt that support?
Hmm.
You know, big moments or even just small ones,
Yeah.
or times when you surprised yourself with how brave you were.
Ooh, I like that.
And then think about how this idea is like a constant companionship, God being with you always.
Yeah,
How does that change how you see the challenges that are coming up in your life?
that's a good one.
It's definitely something worth holding on to,
For sure.
for sure.
Well, on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive.
Awesome.
Thanks for joining us.
It was great to be here.
We'll see you next time.
See